best friends with this girl, let's call her Sally, and I was dating this dude, let's call him Mark. I've been dating this guy for 4 years at the time, and me and Sally had just became best friends the previous year. Because me and my boyfriend had been together for so long, we decided that we were going to move in together, so we got our first apartment together. About 3 months goes on of me living with Mark, my boyfriend, the love of my life. And my best friend, she is 19 at the time, she got kicked out of her house because her mom said that she needs to get a job and she's so lazy, blah, 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 blah. But growing up, they didn't have any money, and she doesn't have any money either because she didn't work, so she has nowhere to go. She's going to be homeless. Come on, that's my bestie we're talking about. My bestie can never be homeless. She will always be welcome to come and live with me. So she comes to live with me and everything is amazing. I'm living with my boyfriend and my best friend at the same exact time. Life literally just couldn't get any better. We have game nights at least once a week. We have movie nights at least once a week. Like, life is going great and I am having the best time ever living with my boyfriend and my best friend. It's amazing. When I come home from work one day, I notice something is really, really weird when I walk through the door. I notice that me and Mark's apartment is clean. And with my best friend around, my apartment is never clean. She's very messy. Love her, but she is very messy. So I go to check the guest bedroom and I'm all happy like, oh my gosh, maybe she cleaned for once. Yay, such a change. I go and check in the guest room / her bedroom and none of her stuff is there. Nothing. It's like no sign that she was ever even here. But the day before she was talking about finally getting her own apartment because she finally got a job. So I didn't really think too much of it. I was like, okay, she left and she cleaned my apartment for me. Mind you, at this time, Mark is still at work. Hours goes by and I do not hear from her, and that is not normal of me and my best friend. We talk every second of every day, literally. So I go to try to call her and no answer. So I call her, I'm spam texting her, no answer. I'm blowing up my boyfriend's phone. Please get home. It's an emergency. Please get home. It's an emergency. Just clock out early, please. He gets home, he runs to the door and he runs straight to me and I'm literally sobbing because I think something happened to my best friend. So I'm not even giving him a chance to speak. I am rambling on. I'm sobbing. I'm crying. I'm like, Sally, there's something wrong with her. There's something wrong with her. All of her stuff is gone. The entire apartment is cleaned. It's not normal. Like, that is not normal. The apartment being cleaned with her here is not normal. Like, I don't know what to do. She's not answering her phone. Like, looks at me with the most scared face ever. Like, he is terrified of me or something and says, are you okay? As I'm sobbing, he's sitting here trying to tell me that Sally does not exist and he has never met a Sally in his entire life. So I start screaming at him, this is not funny. This is not funny. You're not going to sit here and do this like something is seriously wrong. Do you know what happened to her? And he's sitting here trying to gaslight me. He's sitting here screaming at me that I am insane and I am seeing things and I need to go to a mental hospital if I am really believing this. At this point, I can't tell if Mark is serious or not. Like, we literally live together. All three of us live together. We have pictures together. So I start to think that he's actually for real. He thinks that Sally was never here. So I pull up pictures with her. And I'm like, here, do you see? And he's like, those have to be AI generated. Like, I've never seen that girl in my life. Gianna, you're insane. Calm down. You're mentally unstable. No one has ever lived here but us, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, literally for the past 4 months, she has lived with us. What do you mean? So I start to believe that I am genuinely going insane. Like, this is my boyfriend. Like, he would never do that to me. We have been together for so freaking long. He would never do that. So maybe I really just need to go check myself into a mental hospital and call it a day. He says he has to go back to work and now he's going to get in trouble because I called him home for something that was not important and I'm just going insane. When he leaves, I literally just sit on the couch and I am sobbing. I am like, what is going on? What is going on? I know Sally was here and she was here yesterday. Like, she lived with us. What is going on? I decide to deep clean the entire house to get things off of my mind. And as I'm lifting up the guest bedroom mattress to like clean underneath of it, I see a laptop that I have never seen before. I open the laptop and there's a password. I try his password that is to everything. And as I unlocked the computer was already on the email screen when I unlocked it. And I'm guessing this is Mark's computer because his password worked for it. Well, when I unlocked the computer, the screen was already on emails and I go to his most recent email and it was from some unknown email and it said, we got her. What does that mean? This is my boyfriend of years. There's no way he's doing something crazy behind my back. Wait, they might be throwing me a surprise party. Maybe? No, probably not. What does that person mean by we got her? Do they mean Sally, my best friend, that I'm being told doesn't exist? They mean me? Or did they get me? No, they didn't get me. I mean, I hope not. Okay, I don't know what the rest of the story is. I just made that off of the top of my head. Actually, I have a pretty good idea for the ending. Did I finish the story? Probably not. Let me know.
When marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me, make me sway.
I don't know if everybody
everybody's school does this, but my school, like our district, we do this thing called Assassin, where it's basically the fucking Hunger Games. Teams of 3 versus teams of 3, you have to hunt someone, but someone is hunting you with water guns, water balloons. People run into stores, people get sprayed in Target. Like, it's nowhere safe, and it's just chaos for like 3 weeks. And the winner gets a really big pot of money, and it's super duper fun, so everyone's like into this. But I'm not playing this year because it's so stressful, so I thought I would tell you about my Assassin experience last year. So, this is the time my friend and I turned into James Bond. We were tasked to take out Nick and his team. Nick plays baseball, and he likes to go hit in the morning before school, which we all knew this, so we're like, okay, we'll camp his ass out and wait till he gets back. So I'm in Nick's bushes. I'm sitting in Nick's bushes with my water gun, waiting for the call, you know, like the eagle has landed. And then Elsa, my friend Elsa, Nick's house is here, and there's a park. So Elsa's in the park looking directly at his house, and she's gonna tell me, oh, he's pulling up, oh, he's getting out of his car, blah, blah, blah. So we're here, and then our friend Zoe was up on a hill in the getaway car, so she would come swoop us if things got bad, which they did. So Zoe, our lookout, she's doing her job, she's looking out, and then, she sees this little, speck of brown hair just peep up and down, and she texts us, she's like, guys, Peter is here. Peter was the guy who was hunting us, his team. So he tries to sneak up on Elsa, who's in the playground, and Elsa does some, acrobatic, flip off the play structure to the street, and she starts running towards me. So she runs to me, and now we're both huddled in these bushes. So we see Nick's car start to pull up into his driveway, and we're like, fuck, do we risk one of us getting shot, but also taking out Nick? What's the fucking play here? And so Peter keeps coming closer, and we're like, fuck, we can't stay here. So we turn around, and it's the second we turn around, Nick's neighbors, because we were in Nick's bushes, Nick's neighbors open their door, and Elsa and I sprint inside. So we, ninja roll into this person's house as they shut their door, and they're like, who the fuck are you guys? Why are you in my house? But thankfully, Elsa used to babysit for one of the kids who lived there, so they knew her, but, it was still weird that we were in their house, but at least they weren't total strangers. So Peter's watching us in the house, and we're just like, la, 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 through the glass, because he can't get us. And after a few minutes, he's like, all right, fuck, I guess I'll go home. So we're like, yay, we can leave. So we think he leaves, so we leave, and we're getting into the car. Zoe drives a convertible, by the way. It's an old, shitter Mercedes convertible, 2-seater. So all 3 of us didn't fit anyway. So Peter starts driving at us. I'm not even in our car, and it's a car chase. Go to part 2.
Get ready with me, but y'all know that cousin I hate? She kind of found out that, I hate her. Y'all see this meal? My mom is the perfect chef. She made all of this, and she can't even pack my own lunch for school.
Getting Lunchables.
She saw one of the videos, and she kind of, tattled to my tia. Just know, snitches get stitches. Don't be a snitch. Mm-hmm. Now I gotta, apologize and be nice or whatever. Yes. And I gotta do this for, 1 day.
I cannot fight with my sister.
Bro, you fight with her every day.
Okay, but there's one less thing that we need to fight about.
My mom thought I actually liked her. Bro, please. I never liked you, and I still don't like you. I'ma just keep pretending. It's the fact that I gotta apologize. That's so annoying. I want you to come back to me, so stay your distance away. Okay, let me just pretend I actually like her, and I hear my mom coming, so bye. Mom bought her a whole new MCO Beauty lip gloss. Because I kind of, ate the other one. I actually like her. I'm gonna give her this,
Oh, you're so sweet.
I know. Going over to my tia's house because, I gotta apologize and be nice, because we're gonna be besties for the rest.
Finally, this fight is, over. I honestly am so tired of it. Why are you winking?
Oh, sorry. I had something in my eye. I'm even gonna give her one of my Lululemon shirts.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding. That's way too nice, Mom.
You should actually.
I'm not giving you ideas.
You should actually. Now you are gonna give it to her.
I ain't giving her.
No, Esme, do not be saying that. Girl back.
Okay, can't wait to apologize. Besties for the resties. You gotta fake it till you make it.
Hurry up! Don't forget that lip gloss. We gotta go.
I'm just playing, ladies. You know I love you.
Hi, I'm Jenna Ortiz.
Let me tell you about the time my mom murdered my cat while I get ready. So this little incident happened to me when I was in the 7th grade. Literally the worst time of my life. So much shit happened to me. So this story starts off with me waking up after a sleepover at my best friend at the time's house. My mom pulls up, picks me up. This is random, but she ends up hitting their mailbox because their driveway's weird. I don't know. That's besides the point. So we're driving home. At this point, I'm not suspecting anything. Like, everything's chill. Just wait. Just to preface so you don't get confused, I had 2 cats, one named Lisa and one named Otis. Don't ask why the cat's name was Lisa. I didn't name it. I walk in and I see my cat Lisa seizing. Like, this hoe is not good. Obviously, I'm like panicking. I'm like, Mom, what the fuck is happening? My mom is looking so guilty at this point. She says, I gave the cats flea medicine earlier. Like, let me see the medicine. Let me read it. This was dog flea medicine. If you didn't already know this, you cannot put dog flea medicine on cats. It's literal poison. I Googled it to see how serious it was because I didn't know. I was 12. These bitches were gonna die. This medicine was a liquid, like the type you rub into their skin, so my mom grabs a rag, starts rubbing it off of Lisa. While she's doing that, I'm trying to find my boy Otis. Apparently, some cats, when they know they're dying, will hide from their owners so their owners don't have to see it. He would always like to hide in the walls of our basement, so that's where I checked first. Finally found him after like 20 minutes of looking. Otis is reacting the same as Lisa, seizing, just awful. So we do the same thing, rubbing it off of his back. At this point, I'm like, Mom, we need to take him to a vet now. It's like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. I don't know if anyone's open, but we're on our way. I don't remember what exactly happened, but it was either there was nothing open or we couldn't afford it. But my mom ends up turning back around and we go home. At this point, I couldn't do anything. I'm just accepting their fate. I'm so emotionally distraught at this point, so I just go to bed and my mom takes care of the cats all night. The next morning, I wake up to my cat Lisa alive and my cat Otis. I'm assuming the reason why Otis didn't make it and Lisa did was because we couldn't find him for those 20 minutes, so we had the medicine on longer. We ended up burying him the next day. Took me a while to forgive my mom. I don't know what she was thinking, but you live and you learn. Moral of the story, don't be stupid and be careful with your animals. Also, follow me for more crazy story times. I have a lot.
I'm not going to my best friend's wedding because she replaced me as her maid of honor. I've known my best friend, let's call her Kayla, since we were kids. Our moms were long-term friends, so when they were having daughters at the same time, they basically forced us to be friends, which worked out because we love each other. We went to the same schools growing up. Then we went to college together. We joined the same sorority. We lived together all 4 years. I mean, this girl is like my other half. We've also never been in a real fight in our entire friendship. We've bickered before because we were tired about dumb stuff, but it's always been over the next day. I will say Kayla's fatal flaw is that she loves what's new and shiny. For example, when she started dating her now fiance in college, it was like her friends didn't exist anymore. We just stopped seeing her, and it's because she was so excited about her new relationship that all of her old friends, we were old news. She actually lost a lot of friends because of this, but I loved her so much, I stuck it out, and I just kept inviting her to hang out all the time and just appreciated the time she did say yes. She also has a habit of becoming best friends with somebody that she just meets, thinks they're like the best person in the world, is obsessed with them, plans trips with them, says that they're going to be best friends for life, and then a month later, they just don't even talk anymore. And when I'm like, oh, what happened to so-and-so? She's like, oh yeah, I don't know. I haven't talked to her in a while. And then they never talk again. Like, it's not even like they have a falling out. She just becomes bored. When Kayla got engaged last year, excited was an understatement. We have been picturing our dream wedding since we were kids, and I was so excited to help her plan. But another thing about Kayla, her vision is a lot bigger than her budget. Kayla asked me to be her maid of honor, and as soon as I said yes, she started showing me the ideas she had for her wedding, and I had no idea what I got myself into by saying that I would help her with the decorations. I offered to help. I'm super crafty, and I knew that I could do a lot of those things for a lot less cost. And I even pitched in some of my own money for decorations that I was making because I love her and I wanted her wedding to be exactly how she dreamed it to be. So yeah, I have put in countless sleepless nights and over $1,000 buying and making decorations for her wedding. From posters to balloon art, literally everything. Here's where the problem starts. About 2 months ago, me and Kayla go to our friend's house party, and there we meet a new girl named Megan. Now, Megan was super cool, super nice, but for some reason, Kayla was obsessed with her. The whole way home, she was just talking about how amazing this girl was, how she's so smart, how she's so successful, how she like wants to be just like her, all of these things, which I was like, oh, here we go. It's going to be a new month-long best friend. And I was right. Immediately, Kayla and Megan were hanging out all the time and never inviting me. I'm kind of like the person that's like the more the merrier. I want my friends to all be friends with each other. So it was really weird to me when I would ask Kayla if she wanted to hang out on Thursday, and she was like, I'm already doing something with Megan. And I was like, oh, can I come? And she was like, no, it's kind of more of like a one-on-one thing. And slowly but surely, Kayla was taking longer and longer to respond to my texts. She wasn't answering my calls. She was always too busy, which, like, girl, you're not that busy. At first, I chalked it up to the wedding and that she was busy with that. But then I realized I was doing way more for her wedding than she was, and I still had time to hang out with her. And I realized she had all the time in the world to be hanging out with Megan. Like, they were hanging out all the time because she was always posting it on her social media. Last week, I finally sat down with Kayla after literally not seeing her for almost a month, even though I was trying all the time. And this is because her wedding was literally a month away and we needed to go over some final logistics. But during this conversation, she's looking really nervous. And finally, I'm like, girl, what is up with you? And she's like, I have to tell you something, but I don't want you to get upset, okay? And I was like, okay, what? And she goes, I've been thinking about it a lot, and I decided that I want Megan to be my maid of honor. And I was really taken aback, but at first I thought she meant like joint maid of honors, and I was like, okay, that's fine, whatever you want. And she was like, ugh, great, so you're okay just being a bridesmaid? I was like, wait, you're not talking about, like, you want me out, kicked out, like, just bumped to the back of the line. And she was like, you know I love you so much, but like, at this time in my life, I just feel like Megan is my best friend in the world. And I was like, your best friend in the world? She was like, yeah, I've hardly even seen you the last few months. I'm like, oh, really? Really? You know what? Because I asked you to hang out, but you're always busy with Megan. And I guess maybe I've just been busy doing all of the decorations for your wedding. And she was like, yeah, and you know I so appreciate that, and I love you, and that's why I'm so excited that you're going to be my wedding party. I was speechless. I was sitting there just like dumbfounded. And you know, this girl has done this to me my whole life. She's always finding a new friend, replacing me for a few months, and then when she gets bored of that friend, comes back to old reliable. But I need to know my worth. I always say it with men, but I guess I've never said it with friends, and especially when it comes to Kayla. And I know this was petty, but I look her right in the eye and I say, honestly, I don't really want to go to a wedding that's going to have no decorations. And her face falls because she knows that at my apartment, that's where all of her decorations for her wedding are. Like, I made 75-80% of the decorations for her wedding. So without the stuff that I spent money on and put hours and hours into, she's just like not really going to have any decorations at all. She was like, oh my gosh, Kelsey, you would never do that to me. And I was like, well, I never thought that you would do this to me, but guess we're both mistaken today. Her entire family has been calling me non-stop about the decorations, not about what she did to me. No, they just really want these decorations. And I said, you can have them. You just have to pay for the cost that I spent on them, plus the time that I put into them. I told them that now Megan's her maid of honor, so if she wants help with the decorations, that is not my responsibility anymore. Now the wedding is quickly approaching and I am not budging. I'm not answering any of Kayla's calls or texts, mostly because they're all about the decorations. Like, she does not even care how much she hurt me. I love Kayla, but I'm not going to be her doormat anymore. I don't know, maybe the holding the decorations hostage is a little much. Maybe I should just give them to her and let that be that, but I don't know. I spent so much time and money on those, and she just threw me to the side like I was nothing. So it just doesn't feel right.
It was bubble gum, so I had to chew it.
Taste me how to duck. Taste me how to duck.
If you didn't get invited, don't show up. Get ready with me while I tell you the time I had to confront and kick out an old friend from my house. We're gonna call this old friend Alyssa. We stopped now, but almost every year for my brother's and I's birthday, we would always have a party with Grupo and we would invite a lot of friends and family. That year, very last minute, one of my brothers decided that he wanted to have a party. Since it wasn't my party, my brother was asking me and my other brother who it is that we are inviting. That way we have like count for food, beverages, grupo, and all of that. My brother kindly asked that we only invite people who are not drama, because we've had a lot of parties at my parents' house where there always ends up being drama, especially if there's alcohol involved or if there's like certain people who don't like each other attending the same event. Y'all, I nearly almost forgot to apply some concealer. What the heck? At this point, my older brother starts to read the little roster that he made for the people that he invited, and the moment he named one specific guy, I was like, oh, I'm not inviting this girl. Obviously at this girl we named her Alyssa. The only reason I mentioned that if this one guy friend is getting invited, we definitely shouldn't invite Alyssa, because Alyssa and this guy have history, they're exes. As her friend, I already know how she can be, especially with alcohol, so I just much rather avoid any drama or any potential fights and arguments, especially because this is my brother's birthday party, not mine. So now it's the day of the party that my brothers and I have been planning for a couple of weeks now. We are, I want to say like 2 or 3 hours into the party, and someone comes up to me, I don't remember who it was, but someone comes up to me and says, hey, did you invite Alyssa and her cousins? And I was like, no, we basically made sure that if we were inviting her ex, that she wasn't gonna show up. Or if I were to invite her, then we would make sure her ex wouldn't be there. The person who basically came to tell me if I had invited the girls responds back to me and says, the only reason I'm asking is because they're here. And I was like, what? Who invited them? And they were like, well, apparently not you, apparently not your brothers, and apparently not your parents. And I was like, so if they didn't get invited, why are they here? Like, I ended up getting up from the table and I started to walk in their direction, and they still hadn't sat down. They were basically on the side of the house, which is where the entrance for the party was. I went up to them, I said hi, and honestly I just kept my cool. Like, I wasn't upset. It was just more the fact that I had to respect my brother's decision, and my brother wanted to invite his guy friend because obviously it's his birthday. The thing here, guys, is if she knew how to put whatever they had going on to the side, there would definitely be no issue if they both were at the party.
Things that will immediately ruin my day, no matter how much fun I'm having. If I'm left undelivered, but you're watching my story, you must like to play with your life. Why are you weird? I know you're on your phone. You know you're on your phone, but you're actively choosing to ignore me and then letting me know that you're ignoring me. There's a special place for you, and I'll give you a hint. It's hot. Second thing that will immediately ruin my day. If I walk into a restaurant or a fast food place and the worker is trying to memorize my order and predict what you're gonna order and like beat you to it, I don't like that. Like, what if I want something else? Like, during senior year, I was at Chick-fil-A so much that they didn't even call my name anymore. They just handed me the bag. Now suddenly I have to air out the whole store. Don't piss me off. Like, now I'm not even hungry. Next thing that will ruin my day. If we're out to eat and all of a sudden it's split the bill when I got rice and y'all got lobster. Split the bill, but I got $30 in things and y'all got $70 in things. Are you mad? Be careful with those split the bill warriors. They're up to no good. Next thing that will ruin my day. Literally sweating. I absolutely hate sweating. I'm one of those people who gets angry from the heat. Like, as soon as I start sweating, I don't want to do anything anymore. Wherever we're walking to, I don't want to walk anymore. Whatever activity we're doing, I don't want to do it anymore. Next thing that will ruin my day. If we're hanging out and we're spilling tea and suddenly you go, oh, I don't think I could get into that. Or, I don't think I could say that, or I said too much. Who are you running from? Who's recording you? I'm a little confused. Like, I just told you every ounce of tea and things that I was keeping so deep in my butthole, but the second it's your turn, you don't want to say anything or you said too much. Now I can't even have fun at the hangout anymore because now I'm overthinking, like, do you work with the ops? Next thing that will immediately ruin my day. If I'm getting ready and then you suddenly text me that you're canceling the plans. There was literally one time I was in the Uber and then they texted canceling the plans. Ooh, I was so mad that day. I don't think y'all understand. I understand that things happen and plans have to be canceled. That's fine. But at least do it in the AM. Don't wait until like 30 minutes until the plans actually start to be like, oh, never mind. Especially if it's plans that revolve around being in the city. You're gonna wait until I'm on said transportation to tell me that you're not going anymore. I will not talk to you for like a week. I'm not gonna lie. I will get mad. But we are finished. Deuces, deuces, and deuces.
I just flipped the switch.
Hey y'all, get ready with me while I tell you how my friend group of 5 went to 4 in one night. I had this wonderful friend group of 5 girls, of course, and it was just a regular hangout night not too long ago, actually, during spring break, and I had all my girls over. Until, of course there's always an until, the one girl in our group, let's call her Lily, we were as a group collectively deciding which Disney character reminded us of each. I know girls get their feelings hurt easily, and no one was like mean or anything. Like, I was Rapunzel, someone else was Belle. Like, it wasn't mean. And we got to Lily. I don't even remember what they called her, but she ended up getting her feelings hurt and started like shouting and making it a bigger deal. We were doing this discussion in the kitchen, and so I looked around and there was a butter knife on the table, and I said, why don't we do a talking butter knife? So basically, if you were holding the butter knife, you could talk and nobody else could, because everyone was shouting at this point. And being 100% honest, this actually worked, except for Lily. She did not want to do the talking butter. We ended up stopping the game because it got too much because of Lily, and we just went on our way. Well, anywho, a few hours had gone by, like maybe 2, and we had not seen Lily. So because I was hosting the little sleepover, I decided to go, find her and check on her, because again, she is our friend. So I looked for like 30 minutes, couldn't find her. I'm calling her name, and I'm looking in the bathrooms, and I go in my little sister's bathroom. It's completely dark, and she was sitting in front of the door in the dark of my sister's bathroom. And like, she heard me call her name and didn't respond. I practically pushed my way through this door to sit down and talk to her, and she's basically like crying, and I'm like scrolling on Shein, and I'm like, what's wrong? And she's like, nothing continuously, right? And then I just leave, because if you're not going to tell me what's wrong, there's nothing I can do for you. Okay, so I ended up going back downstairs, and then I heard her talking super loudly right close to my mom's room. At this point, it's like 3 a.m. She has to get up for work in about 2 hours, and she's sitting there talking super loudly on the phone, and I snapped. So I go to the room where she's at, right by my mom's room, and I'm like, hey, listen, you can be upset, that's totally okay, but you cannot sit here, be loud on the phone when my mom is trying to sleep after so much she does for us. She ends up refusing to move and gets louder, and I'm being calm, patient, no cussing, nothing. I wasn't being mean. I was like, listen, you really need to move. You can go to the living room, you can go to my room, you can go outside, but you need to move. And when I said she could go outside, she goes, so you're kicking me out? No. Well, at this point, she's on the phone with her mom or grandma, and she's screaming, cussing, yelling, begging to come get her to pick her up because we're ganging up on her, when I was literally just, it's giving pathological liar. Like, I tried to be nice, but you're not getting your ass up and moving, and you're going to wake my mom up, and she's gonna get mad at me. And so then I got mad, and I was like, get your ass up and go. Now, go. I was so mad. And she finally gets up, goes outside, sits outside, crying, cussing at her mom, like, come pick me up. And she's like, it's 3 a.m., I'm not picking you up. She's like, I don't give a shit, come pick me up. You know what I mean, right? Ends up convincing grandma, mom, I don't know, to come get her. And so we go upstairs. I was like, you're not coming back in, like, with this state of frantic manic, you're not. And I left the door open. She's sitting right there by the door, and I'm like, we'll go get your bag, it's already packed, because it was the last night they were spending the night. Bring it down, we bring it, go, right? And then she's like, calls her mom, and her mom's like, walk to the end of the driveway and we'll get you. And I was like, oh, thank the Lord. This story time doesn't even grasp how loud, rude, disrespectful, like, she was to everybody. Like, there was so much more. You had to live it. And those 4 girls, I'm sure they'll comment, like. So she starts walking to the end of the driveway, and I was like, I wouldn't want to walk to the end of the driveway at 3 a.m. in the dark by myself. My driveway is super long. And so I was like, we'll walk with you. And she was like, no, go yourself. I help you. Super rude, and we were all calm and chill. No one was cussing, no one was nothing. So we're like, we're just gonna walk behind her. So she's walking, and she's like 20 feet above us. So she ends up sitting on the road of the highway by my house, even though, like, she didn't want to be by us. Like, that didn't make sense. Her sister goes and checks on her, and Lily swings on her, and her sister just backs up and walks away. I was like, you know what, fine, you can stay there. So her mom pulls up, right? She gets out of the car and she's trying to pull up my driveway, and I'm like, you're not about to pull up my driveway and be loud and wake my mama up. So like, she didn't end up pulling up ever fully up on my driveway. Like, I stood my ground, and she's like all upset, and she's talking about somehow she was going to protect her babies or whatever. And like, you know, of course, like, I get that motherly instinct, but she wasn't getting the full story. She was just getting Lily's story. Anyway, so her mom ends up trying to get her sister to come home as well after Lily just gave us death threats, and of course she was like, no, I'm not going, I didn't do anything. Everyone's crying at this point. They're shouting, screaming, cops being threatened to be called. So overdramatic. I mean, it was all girls, so like, anyway, Lily's uncle was there too, and so he ends up calming everyone down, which is the only time a situation a man has ever helped. I'm just kidding. I can't say that. Which is a situation a man has ever calmed down. And so basically, he calms it down and gets her to leave. And she leaves, and she ends up blocking me. She blocked me. Lily blocked me on everything. One of the beautiful girls from the 4-friend group now. Anyway, bye, beautiful people.
No, I don't think you understand. I'm obsessed.
Here is a traumatic story time of what happened in a hotel that I went to in Birmingham. First of all, I'm actually going to a Paula's Choice event, which I'm super excited for, so this is me kind of getting ready for that and telling you guys the story. Moving on, so this was a random day in January. I just finished a very, very long day of doing meet and greets. This meet and greet included meeting so many different people, so you can just imagine, like, you're tired, you've been talking all day, you just want to sleep. And if you've ever done something where it's like a full day of conventions, you'd know exactly what I mean. So with this meet and greet, the company that had organised it for me actually ended up putting me up for the night at a stay place in Birmingham. So I was like, oh, amazing, like, I've got a hotel for the evening. And then the next day I was actually going to go to Manchester early morning to go to Pretty Little Thing. Well, this was never the case. Once we entered the hotel, it was about 8 o'clock and I just wanted to get in bed and eat Dominoes and fall asleep. I was actually with my sister and my boyfriend at the time, and we was all just chilling in the lobby waiting for my mum. And then I said, let's just check in now, like, let's not wait for mum, she can just come into the room then. So we go to check in, and from the get-go I can just tell this man is being really, really funny with me and my sister, because we was quite, like, I mean, she's not even young, but I don't know, I was young and so was my boyfriend, so maybe they just thought we was all young. I could literally tell that he was just going to be awkward from the get-go. He proceeded to tell me that I couldn't be under the age of 16 to be in the hotel, and I said, but on here, like, kids are allowed. So he basically was just trying to be difficult. Like, you could be under the age of 16. I pulled out the proof, and then he kind of just kept quiet about that one. And then he proceeded to say things like, oh, you can't check in without an adult. My sister was like, I am an adult. And he was like, I need proof. She'd show proof, and he'd be like, You know when someone's just being so difficult, like, all you got to do is check me in, mate, and I'll be out your way. So it comes to checking in, and we've said the name, and I've showed the confirmation booking on my phone. And then he starts saying, okay, have you got the card that you paid for? Like, what you paid with the hotel, like when you paid for the booking, have you got that card with you? And I said, no, it was a company that paid for me, so he's in, like, another country right now, but he's just told me to come here and I can get in. Basically, this man argued with us for 20 minutes, and us we couldn't go in the room because we had to have the visualised card, when on the website it never said that. So at this point, we're just all like, what is going on? But anyways, we ended up persuading him to just let us in the room. We was like, look, we're really tired, and it was never this on the website, like, we was proving things to him, so he couldn't really argue with us. My boyfriend at the time actually had a separate room, but he wasn't going to check in there until later on, so it was just me, my sister and him in the room. And whilst we were sitting in there, I went to the toilet to wash my face because I was just like, makeup off, want to sleep. And he's lifted up the bed and gone, oh my god. I was like, what has happened? There was hair in our bed, but not just like one, there was like gazillions of hairs in our bed. Then we called the hotel and was like, you need to come up here and, like, change the bedding or something. But at this point, we're like, we don't want to stay. Come back for part 2.
Get ready with me for the day. So my best friend is gone. And if y'all are wondering, these red marks are from my Oculus. I was just playing on it. Time to get ready for the day. Going in with this. Steady beat goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Steady heart goes, I love you more. I know sometimes it's confusing. Never again. Now I'm going in with these, yeah. I can already see such a huge difference. So, y'all, Mario couldn't get here today, so James is gonna do my makeup. Hey, James!
Hi, sisters.
Call me that one more time and you're gone. Yeah.
However, I went to the mailbox yesterday.
James, nobody cares about your mailbox. James, I already told you I don't want to look like a ghost. You jump scared me. I'll see y'all once he's done with my makeup. Finally, y'all, James finished my makeup. I think he's having a bad day. Now I'm gonna do my hair.
Foundation matches the rest of your body, it's gonna look crazy. So make sure you're always picking up.
That's all. Peace out, girlies. That was awkward. Okay. Bye.
Good morning, guys. Get ready with me at 5 a.m. It's way too early. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a morning person at all. All I'm thinking about right now is when I can go back to sleep. I have to take my friend to the airport, and I'm honestly very upset at whoever decided to make flights at like 7 in the morning, because that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of, and it is way too freaking early. But hey, at least I finally mastered how to do my heelless curls, so I'm gonna have bomb hair way too early in the morning when I'm definitely not gonna see anyone. I don't really want to see anyone either, but that's okay. I also decided to cut the liner off my heelless curl rod because I saw Alex Earl's little sister do it, and it made them like stick to the thing better, and it's been making them look extra good. So I think you should do that. I will say I've been sleeping with mouth tape on my lips, and I think it's actually like really working. I also think it, yeah, definitely making my breath smell better when I wake up to it, that's for sure. Anyways, it's way too early and I do not want to be up, so I'm gonna go lay in bed for 10 more minutes before I need to leave.